It's time for us to make peace and stop the fighting. One love, one unity, got to break the bondage. No more borders around me, no more mental slavery. Bob Marley said it best, stand together and feel alright. But if we fight,
let it be for justice.
and if we war,
Let it be for justice.
at all costs,
Let it be for justice.
do what is right.
Let it be for justice.
Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Inequity, disparities, and violence. Oppression, racism, no, I won't be silent. No more barriers for we. We will thrive, prosperity. Marcus Garvey said it best, none but ourselves can free your minds. But if we fight,
Let it be for justice.
and if we war,
Let it be for justice.
at all costs,
Let it be for justice.
do what is right.
Let it be for justice.
Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. 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 No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. We the people are from royalty. Royalty. I wish so many of us can see. Keep the culture, be united, stop the violence. Put the power in ourselves, create the franchise. In the news last week, another bomb overseas. I'm so sick of these murders in the streets. Ooh, why I? Ooh, why I? Why I? Why I? But if we fight,
Let it be for justice.
and if we war,
Let it be for justice.
at all costs,
Let it be for justice.
do what is right.
Let it be for justice.
Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice.
Greetings and salutations, one and all.
Let it be for
Welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele.
justice. Let it be for justice.
How you doing?
Let it be for justice.
The sound of China Nicole kicking things off. Track called Let It Be for Justice. I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now.
Us to make peace and stop the fighting. One love, one unity, got to break the bondage.
Much love to those who are locked in out of the UK.
Surround me,
Top of the morning to you guys over there on One Harmony Radio.
Bob Marley
King Genius, Queen Genius.
together and feel alright.
Much love to you.
Let it be for justice.
And if we war,
Let it be for justice.
at all costs,
I want to say blessings to those who are locked in onto the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Mr. Lindsay, how you doing, sir? A veteran in the business.
for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Inequity, disparities, and violence. Oppression, racism, no
Big ups to those who are locked in out of New Jersey. NIE Radio
barriers for we.
with the motivator.
Prosperity.
One brother from another mother.
They said it best, none but ourselves can
Big ups to you.
our minds. But if we fight,
Those on Mix102.com.
For justice.
and if we want,
Blessings.
Let it be.
And there's a sister station out of Jamaica. Earth 96 FM.
Let it be for justice.
do what is right.
Blessings to the family. Ayad.
Be for justice.
Symbol.
Let it
Much love, sir.
for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for
I
justice.
want to say big ups to those out in New York.
Let it be for justice. We the people.
Those exhibiting the power of music.
Royalty.
At the home of this lady right here.
Us.
Island worldwide.
Keep the culture beat.
Big ups China Nicole.
Put the
Big up Gary.
create the
Much love to you guys.
news last week, another bomb overseas. I'm so sick of these murders in the streets. Ooh, boy,
Inviting you all to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your friends too. And your enemies too. Call up anybody, everybody, somebody. Invite them to come on over to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to those on YouTube Live. Those right here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com.
let it be for justice.
Encouraging you all to have acceptance through enlightenment. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
For justice.
So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you.
For justice.
You have my word, I wouldn't even try.
Make peace and stop the fighting. One love, one unity. Got to break the
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors.
no more border.
Paul T Media Group, and being in a moment is priceless.
To slave.
Go ahead and get my link.
But Marley said it best, stand together and
They do so much.
right. But if we fight,
And for me, so much more.
we won't.
They can help you with their videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads. They help me in a major way by hosting the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew website. They can host your site too.
Let it be for justice. Let
Thank you, Paul C Media Group.
justice, no matter what it costs. Let it be for justice. Let it be justice.
Thank you to Althea and her healing heavenly hands.
Disparities and violence.
Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you,
More very
bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience.
Marcus Garvey
Go
said.
ahead and give her a call today, 954-655-9000.
But if we fight,
She only has one request outside of paying her. It's that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Because you're guaranteed to fall asleep.
do what is right.
I want to say thank you to the Global Base.
Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. 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 No matter what
The Global Base navigates your journey across music, marketing, and much, much more.
justice.
It's a realm where social spheres awaken through mastery.
Royalty.
Go ahead and embrace the invitation to liberate your creativity unbounded and free.
Keep the
The Global Base, your catalyst for music, everything related to music, marketing, event planning, and social media.
I'm so sick of these murders.
Link them today for a free consultation. The Global Base, daglobalbase.com.
But if we fight,
Thank you to McNeil Trucking.
if we won't,
McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida.
let it be.
So if you want to move from Naples over to Palm Beach,
What it costs, let it be for.
from the Keys to Pensacola,
Let it be for justice.
from Pompano to Jacksonville, and all points in between,
Let it be for justice.
go ahead and give them a call.
Let it be.
You want to put some things in storage, you don't have the manpower, you don't have the equipment, don't worry, you have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740.
Got to break the bond.
Call them up, tell them Kevin Stew sent you.
More borders around me. No more mental slavery. But Marley said it best, stand together and feel alright.
Want to remind you, the book is available, the audiobook. Go ahead and download your copy today.
If we want,
It's entitled Empowered, Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. Authored by Jonathan Field. Narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew.
do what is right.
Go ahead, check them out on Audible. Get your copy today and get one for someone else.
Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs.
It's good information for both men and women.
Let
China Nicole bringing us in. And I have our guest for this evening ready and waiting. Dan, if you could just lower your camera just a little bit. That looks good. Perfect.
Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. 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 No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. We the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado,
Royalty. I with so many.
again, I invite you to call up somebody, anybody, everybody,
Keep the culture, be united, stop the
because we're here
the power in our
on a journey.
franchise.
A journey to have acceptance through enlightenment, but even more than that,
In the streets.
a journey to expose light in some dark places,
But if we
to let you know what is going on in and around places that you may live, with people that you may know. So let me introduce you, those of you who were here a long time ago with us.
Justice.
You would have met him at one point. Those of you who have been checking through the archives of the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew, you would have come across us having a chat about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years, almost 4 years ago. And so we're doing a little bit of a recap and then an update and a look into the future. So without further ado, I present to you the man of the moment, Mr. Dan Butierez. Dan, welcome to the broadcast.
Well, last time I talked to you, I just won my case.
I'm sorry, say that again, Dan.
I said last time we spoke, I just won my case.
Yeah,
A case I'd been fighting for almost 30 years.
right.
Then I filed a lawsuit. The same court that put me in prison without a conviction has now chosen to throw my case out as being frivolous.
Listen, that's crazy. It's
Well,
crazy.
I can tell you, I'm not the kind of man that gives up. So I've now filed my intent to run for United States Congress for District 7, the District of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about to get real heated.
I can just imagine.
As, you know, what kept me in prison all those years and getting me tonight was plain politics. So politics is what kept me there, and I'm going to finish it up by becoming a politician. Wasn't anything I ever planned on doing. I'm just I own 2 painting companies here in Tucson. This is my office. It's now going to be campaign headquarters.
Right.
And my big thing is I'm gonna shine a whole lot of light on what they do. And there's no hiding it. I'm doing a motion for new trial to get my case back in. And I've kind of let them know in my motion. I informed them that there's nothing frivolous about this. When I filed my motion, I filed it that I wasn't charged. I didn't get any due process of law. I wasn't tried. The judge had no jurisdiction, and double jeopardy was invoked. Well, the state, and you remember, state conceded, and the judge ruled there was no conviction. So I'm running on this for the United States House of Congress. And they're getting a little worried. The Democrats are worried. Raul is the guy I'm running against. He's getting a little worried because I'm running as a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your typical Republican because I've got a lot of compassion for people.
Right.
There's issues I want to address that I think are very important, like getting the homeless off the street and giving them an opportunity to get on their feet and providing them with work till they can find a job so they can do for themselves, because just giving to them doesn't give them their self-esteem.
Right.
Giving them an opportunity to earn a living gives them their self-esteem.
Right.
And it's just one of the things, my biggest thing, which is obviously why I'm running, is I want to shed light on this corrupt justice system. And I'm sure somewhere everybody, and I know you've got a lot of people, in, you know, the people watch you, have someone they care about that's dealing with the same situation that I just walked out of, and I'm still dealing with. I'm just a fighter, and they picked on the wrong guy. That's all. But it's all about good old boys. One attorney screws up, everybody covers up, and then you spend years trying to get someone to admit they did this wrong, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So I want to shine some light on that good old boy system that's going on. It's what's happening in Congress. It's the same good old boy thing. They're not getting anything done because one guy's not going to step on the other guy's feet because this guy doesn't want it. He's my friend. And that's what's going on in Congress. It's the same thing that's going on in the courts. Every fraction of our government is doing this. They've all been in this system too long. They've come to know everybody, which is, you know, I'm not going in to be a career politician, so I can guarantee you I'm going to be voting for term limits, because they need term limits to stop this corruption that's going on.
Right.
And like I said, I'm running to put some light on the wrongfully convicted people that don't have a voice. I'm going to be that voice.
That's not an easy thing to do. You are going up against a system that has been in place for, let's see, we're talking about as long as the Constitution pretty much has been alive. How do you think you can actually make a difference? You know, why do you think you could make a difference?
Here's the thing. I will only be 1 in 400. 1 in 400. And when you look at that, 1 in 400 can't do anything. But I can shine light on things that people can't see. I can bring attention to things that the average person doesn't see. If I change one person's heart in Congress, then there's 2 to 400. If I change 3 people, there's 3 to 400. Change begins with the 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There are a bunch of new people that are on the platform today. You know, some people have never heard your story. Some people have not looked at your campaign website or anything. Some people have never heard the name Daniel Butierez. So you mentioned about the same court that overturned your conviction, wanting to double back on that, and you probably turned some heads. Let's go down memory lane for a moment and quickly just kind of sum up what had happened when we first met back in what, February 2020, there about somewhere about there.
It was 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we met, we went over my wrongful conviction. I spent almost 30 years fighting a wrongful conviction. I had gotten thrown into prison in 1994 and I'd never been in trouble before. It was over a joint, 1.3 grams of marijuana. The state wanted me to testify against someone else. I told them no. I didn't quite say it polite like that, but I told them no. Next thing I know, I was in a jury trial for offering to sell over 8 pounds of marijuana, which I didn't do. And after the trial, and the officer lied, the jury convicted me of offering to sell over 8 pounds. At sentencing, I told the court that they needed 8 pounds of marijuana to even take me to jury trial. The judge read it. He said, Mr. Butierez, you're absolutely correct. And at that point, the judge found me not guilty of the only crime that was against me. Now, at that point, double jeopardy was invoked. I should have been left to go home. That's not what happened. They put me on probation for offering to sell under a pound and said that they were going to let a court of appeals decide what to do from that point. So that never happened. I violated probation for drinking on probation. I wound up in maximum security prison with a 10-year sentence over this joint. So I found out from DOC that I didn't have a conviction. They'd asked me, don't you know what due process of law is? I said no. And he explained to me what due process of law was, and he told me no one even accused me of this crime. Let alone charged me or convicted me. So I wound up fighting it, told the courts. I said I was put in prison without a conviction after jeopardy was invoked. The courts came back every time I filed my motion all the way through the courts and said that Mr. Butierez complains about getting sentenced to the lesser when he was convicted of the greater. That was never my issue. That was never anything I raised. My issue was very simple. But for political reasons, there was no way the courts were ever going to grant my issue. It would be them admitting that they had put me in prison, that they had kidnapped a United States citizen. So they never granted until 2020, when the state finally conceded and the judge ruled. From that point, I met you. I told you about all of it.
Yeah.
Then from that time, I've been fighting the case. I had a painting company when I spoke to you last time.
Right.
Since then, I bought the painting company that I used to work for. I own the building that we're in now. I run both companies from this yard. Plus, I have another yard out in Miranda, the property, the 10 acres with the horses. I still have that. It's out in Miranda.
Right.
And I'm one of those guys that just got to do something. So I've gotten to this point in my life, and now I'm running for Congress.
I think it's the do something part that is what makes a difference. I don't know. Something sounds weird about our connections. It has a little bit of an echo in it. I don't know if it's over my side or over your side, but it's like
It's probably my office.
That's probably what it is. All right. So the thing about doing something is the key thing here. Not many people actually get up and decide that they're going to do something, especially when it is something that is as big an issue as this. You're deciding that you are going to go up against, like I said, an age-old system where individuals have found a way to bond together for their mutual benefit. And you are not down for that. Now, we've heard stories before where it is said that you have to play the game to be a part of the game. So, and if you don't play the game, then you're going to have a hard time until you decide that you're going to play the game. How do you plan to be successful in this fight? You want to make changes as it relates to convictions, especially those that are wrongful. You want to make changes when it comes to immunity of detectives, immunity of prosecutors, of defense attorneys, of judges. You're wanting to turn the whole system on its head, and out the gate you're saying, this is what I'm out for, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. You really think you're gonna get the support that you need to get you in there, that you could try to make these changes?
I'm going to tell you this. One man can't do a difference, can't make a difference.
Right.
But I believe there's enough people in this country that have loved ones locked away, that could stand behind me and beside me, and we can do this.
Fair enough.
Then we only need one voice.
Fair enough. I thought about that too. And there have been so many people that have given up. I remember speaking with the father of a young man that was gunned down in Texas. Initially, he had agreed to come on the broadcast and tell his story. The man that shot his son, shot him at point blank range in the head, a former U.S. Marine. There was an altercation in a store. They said, we can take this outside in the back. The man went to buy ice cream for his 8-year-old at the time, his daughter. And his daughter was in the car. So the man took the ice cream from the store out to the car, handed it to his daughter, took his gun out of the car, went around to the back of the store in the alleyway, walked up to some random kid, shot him in the head, and then said, self-defense, I was in fear for my life, this was a gang-related thing, and he had to stop somebody. And he got away. You want to go up against things like this. This man said to me, boy, I would, it won't bring my child back. I've gone through, I've spoken with the media, I've spoken here, there, and the next place. I'm tired. I just want to let this rest. There are so many out there that have decided, you know what, I'm not going to win. I can't win against this system. So they've given up. And these are some of the relatives and friends and even some of the convicted themselves, wrongfully convicted, that have just given up. You're saying you want to be that ray of light, that little bit of hope to make this difference.
Yep. And some of the greatest men that we know have been that one ray of light. Martin Luther King was that one ray of light. And look at the movement he created.
Yeah.
All through history, there have been people that have done it, but we can't give up. And it's just not in me to ever give up.
For anyone that is out there that is listening right now, that you want to ask Dan some questions about what he's been through, what he plans to do, if this happens for him? How does this affect the rest of the United States? Because he's running for Congress in Arizona. Does it make a difference? You can call in. The lines are open. 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram, you can link us from anywhere in the world. If you have any connection in the United States at all and know anybody or know of anybody who has had a wrongful conviction, who's someone who's fighting their conviction, this is someone that you'd want pretty much fighting for you. Why? Because he's been through it. And the funny thing is, his fight was a long fight. One. Two, it involved people from the judiciary from other parts of the United States. Because, Dan, your mom was a judge in New York.
Yep.
And I remember you telling me that even writing from her office, from her desk, sending an official letter to the courts in Arizona made no difference.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
We hear stories of your neighboring state, Texas, quite a bit. The majority of my wrongful convictions, stories about them and information on them, come out of Texas, including one of the most popular ones and the longest running one that I've been presenting on the Rodney Reed case, where you have judges who have not taken the oath that have presided over cases, and you have corrupt prosecuting attorneys getting their cases supported by these courts. All these things happening. Aren't you worried about the backlash? Aren't you worried about possibly being targeted when going up against a system like this?
Maybe I might have at one time, but honestly, Gavin, I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in another week or a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through hell and back. There's nothing else they can do to me. I mean, there's just really nothing else they can do to me.
You had lost contact with your children.
Yep.
You lost a fiance in the mix.
Yep.
What has happened with your family since then? What has happened personally with you since
My
then?
my two sons are taking over my company. I've been training them. They're getting ready to take over so that I can go to Congress and not worry about anything here. So everything I have will be in good hands. My wife will be here. She's in good hands.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Everything that matters to me, I've taken care of. But this is something I got to finish. Just something I got to finish. I'm never going to feel completely full till I finish what I started. Or what they started. If you real, they started it, I'm going to finish it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. What has been some of the challenges that you've faced up until this point?
What is the what?
Some of the challenges that you have faced up until this point.
The challenges I faced. Well, first off, I walked out of prison, nothing. not like most wrongfully convicted people. They walk out of prison and everybody knows that they're not, they were wrongfully convicted, innocent. I walked out of prison still with a conviction on me, even though it didn't exist. It was still a conviction on its face. So I had to overcome the courts when I went to adopt my nephew, take custody of him because he was in a bad spot. I had to go to court and plead with them that even though I was a felon, that I could raise my, get my nephew. They wound up giving me my nephew. Then when I went to start my business here in Arizona, if you have a felony, you can't get your contractor's license. So I had to go fight with the courts. I went with I took the test, I passed the test. Then I gave everything I needed to get my license, and they denied me. So then I appealed it, and I had to go to Phoenix and go before the board. And I tried to explain to them that I was rehabilitated and could I get my license? And they told me no. So then I appealed it to the Arizona attorney. And at that time, he wound up listening to me he asked what I had done since I got out of prison, and I told him. And when he found out that I had been given guardianship of my nephew in New York, they said, well, that's a judge already determined that he was rehabilitated. So I wound up getting my contractor's license.
Okay.
From there, began building a company, which, let me tell you, there's nothing easy about building a company.
Yeah.
But I was determined to succeed, and I built a very strong company. Strong enough that when my ex-boss called me up and told me he was planning to retire, and he had a company that had been in business 20 years, and he wanted to know if I was interested in buying it, I went ahead and bought him out. So
Right.
I just always keep moving. And I was never given, I wasn't handed this silver platter or anything. I worked hard and earned everything I got. That's the other thing. If anybody wants to go to my webpage where I'm running for Congress, there's a whole story there of me. And it speaks about a lot of this, what I did, what I had to go through, and what I accomplished, and why I would be what Arizona needs at this time. Because when I got out of prison, I'd gotten out of prison once after my fiance was gone. And I'd never done drugs before, but then I started running with everybody I met in prison. And I started doing drugs. I became homeless. I was homeless for 2.5 years. Then I went back to prison. And that time I gave my life over to God. And from that moment, he blessed me. And I just focused on working after that. And that's kind of what, in my webpage, you can see that my big thing is I want to help the homeless. I really, because I was there, and I know how to get from there to become who I am today. And I'd really like to fund a program that can help the homeless get on their feet. I've been all over Arizona now. I go talk to LDs all over the state. And another big one, and this is because at the time I did in prison. The second time I was put in a work yard where we got to work and we made minimum wage. And about a third of that board. I wound up, when I walked out of prison that time, I walked out with $5,200, which was what helped me get moving in life. And it gave me self-esteem. It gave my self-esteem back. It gave me the desire to work back. and it was rewarding. So I continued to do it when I got out. Well, I kind of want to set up a program like that in all prisons. And, you know, they bring everyone always says we need immigrants to pick fruit. Well, I always said, you know, we got prisons full of inmates that would kill to go be able to leave prison, go work and make some money so that when they do walk out of prison, they can walk out with a chance to make it.
Right.
So I really like to focus on pushing Arizona into doing that with inmates. The country, and we can start giving people an opportunity to get on their feet, start closing some of the prisons, you know, start building a better America. I mean, this is the country that's home and free, but it's really the home of the prisons. I mean, we have more people in prison per capita than any other country in the world. And we just start doing something right. It's that simple. No.
That is another issue too, because you're talking about an institution that has become a multi-billion-dollar business.
Oh yeah.
And again, we've taken a look into prisons on this broadcast, and it's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's very scary, for sure, that the possibility exists that people have become this modern day commodity and nobody really recognizes how much of a business it possibly is. I've presented information. I can't say for sure, but all the evidence points that way. That it's a business. It is modern day slavery.
Yep. And like I said, I've been traveling all over the state of Arizona talking to communities and opening eyes. Because every community I've gone into and I've talked to them, they all like what I've got to say. And that's where change happens.
Right.
I've got to make the people realize what they're doing is $1 billion industry. That's when change begins. That's when people start talking. And the other thing I'm doing with running with this is that I've already met, oh God, what's her name? I can't remember her name right off. I met a lady that's running for Superior Court judge in Cochise County. She actually was going to drive all the way across the state because she heard I was talking over in Douglas. So she wanted to go over and see me, but she had a bunch of paperwork to do. Well, she said I had a bunch of motions I had to finish. So I said, "Are you a judge or an attorney?" She goes, "Well." She goes, "I'm the county attorney." And I said, "That's fine. I got no problem with that." But she knew who I was, so she was hesitant to say that. And I'm not that kind of man at all. And we wound up sitting there talking for an hour. And that's one person. I've met 4 of the state congressional individuals. They're not United States. They're just state congressmen.
Yes.
They're the writers of the law in Arizona. And what I'm trying to do is meet as many of them as I can, make an impact, explain my story to them, because they're the ones going to change the laws here. And I've got them now calling me, asking me questions, and this is how you're going to make change. Let's be honest, nothing's going to change in Washington because one man shows up there. But if I can open the eyes of a bunch of congressmen here in Arizona,
yeah,
I can create change because they're the lawmakers here in Arizona. They write the law for Arizona. And if I can convince them that they need to create some laws that allow me to set up a program to help people, and I form relationships with all of them, they can put it up to the House for a vote in the state. And I'm dealing with Republicans, which aren't as friendly to inmates as the Democrats.
That too.
So I'm changing their minds. I'm changing their hearts. So now when it goes up to vote, if I get 15 Republican House members in the state to have listened to me and agree with me, we just changed the law in Arizona. Okay, it's really, it takes me a lot of time to talk to all these people, and every time I go to one of these speeches, I'm there for 2-3 hours, and then nobody lets me leave because everybody's got questions. But I know every time I do it that I'm going to meet someone that later on down the line, I'm going to ask to put a law up, and they're going to put it up for a vote, and we're going to get passed, and it's going to help my cause. So there's a lot I'm working on. So.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of work to put in. At this point, you said you've met one person who is in support, one person that you believe would be on your side, that is influential, being the county clerk.
Yep.
Do you really think that more will come over? You mentioned how Republicans historically have been less friendly towards convicts and convictions than Democrats. What made you choose to go that route, and why do you think that you would get that kind of support from them?
Well, because in my heart, I'm a Republican. I mean, I just am. I'm pretty common sense. I believe in the rule of the law and law and order. I just don't believe in injustice.
Right.
And I believe in what's right and what's wrong and equality. And I'll give you an example of equality. I've got 2 cats. I got Gator and Taco. It drives my wife crazy. But when it's treat time, I actually count the treats for them to make sure I don't give one more than the other. And it's like clockwork. My wife just sits there and watches me, and she goes, "Oh my God!" She did, but I'm always really about fair. And if you're going to do this with one, then you need to do this with the other. Right? It's not okay to screw this person and then let this person get away with whatever.
Right.
If you're going to do something and you're going to punish someone, then you need to punish everyone the same. If you're going to reward someone, you're going to reward them for the same behavior. You need to reward everyone the same. It's not okay to favor one person and punish another. So if you don't like the law for your children, then don't punish this guy for it. And there's a lot of that going on. So, but yeah,
But
go ahead.
these are things that happen to. They happen more to the disenfranchised and minorities than anyone else, but yet still it continues. So whereas it's okay to have the mindset that everybody equally deserves just whether it is the punishment or the reward. should be equally meted out. That historically has not been the case. And so, it has become quite the norm. And everybody has said, well, whatever. It's what we do. This is how we live. This is how the country pretty much and the world. This is how it runs. So how can this one painter guy who was, because you can hear the narrative. So this painter, this ex-con painter, thinks that he can come up here and make this kind of a change. Who does he think he is? Have you heard that narrative yet? Has anybody actually? No.
No, I haven't heard that one. And I'm a painter. But no, I hear what you're saying. There are that there is still bigotry in this country. I mean, and there's one person isn't going to change it across the country, but I do believe that if we can change it somewhere, it's slowly beginning to change it everywhere. And my focus right now is to try and make some change right here and start working, get it to spread. My mother was asking me, because I went over with, and she's a Democrat, but she claims to be a Republican, but she's a Democrat. She keeps asking me about my programs that I want to establish, and I've explained them to her. And she says, they might work. I said, well, Mom, right now Arizona's got drug programs. Right now, Arizona has 150 state-funded treatment facilities. They have a 48% success rate. And it's just, I want to implement what helped me get off of drugs. And I know a lot of people that got off of drugs and got their lives together. But it was more of the work program when I was in prison and I went to yard, because they've got to get their self-esteem. You can't just quit drugs and have nothing with no purpose in life and expect them to stay off drugs. They need a purpose. They need a reason. So I wanted to set up a program, and I've already picked the building. There's a hospital here. It used to be Tucson General. It's been sitting there it was there. I was born in the hospital, so it's been there a long time. It's presently empty. It's been empty for years. It's got beds. It's got rooms. I believe it should be a treatment program that I want to establish to help people get on their feet. A place which will offers them a job at minimum wage, even if it's just picking up trash along the road till they get a better job. That we, the taxpayers, give them a check. And so we pay them probably, we feed them, we pay them. You're talking probably $1,600 a month is what it'll cost us to put them in there and do that with them. These state-funded programs cost us $8,000 a night when they walk through the doors. So, and then they leave within a day or two. So that's why they're only a 48% success rate. These other programs, I want to design them to where these people can't just leave. When they go in, they finish, they go through their treatment, they go to work, they set up a program, and that has a lot to do with these oh gosh, these state congressional people I'm speaking with,
Okay, yeah.
because we need to design laws to help these people be able to have an opportunity to get clean. I need to have them apply the funding to be able to pay these people for minimum wage to go do these cleanups and, work in the streets and stuff, to give them a reason why they would want to be in this program. Does that make sense, Tina?
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I get it.
There's a lot of reasons I'm running around and meeting all these congressional people, because they're the ones that are going to make the laws. They're the ones that ultimately will fund the program. I mean, all a congressman does is provide funding, request Congress that, I go in there and I say, hey, I'd like to get some money for this and this. Then I give it to the state for this. But it's ultimately the state Congress people that decide where that money goes in their state.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to work with them regardless. So I'm running around trying to meet them and get them to understand where I'm coming from. And so far, they've all really liked what I had to say. So
is there anybody that you know of anywhere in Congress right now that is even partially on board with if not everything, some of the things that you are campaigning for?
None that I know of. Like
on either side.
Most Republicans aren't thinking about what could be done for the homeless. Well, no, I take that back. I did. There is one senator. She's a state senator, and she has been talking about doing something with the homeless. And I did comment to her that I didn't, and she's a Republican, but I did make a comment to her that she's doing just what they've been doing for 40 years. She didn't like what I said, but it's true. She said, I want to get some doctors and psychiatrists in a room. And she started out with, I don't know what to do about the homeless. I'll be honest. I don't know what to do about the homeless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a doctor, some doctors, some counselors. We're going to sit down in a room. We're going to stand here until we figure it out. I told her, I said, you know what? They've been doing that for 40 years. That's not an answer. That's an excuse. And I told her I have a plan. So there are most of their answers are lock them up in a psych ward. That's where a lot of people answers are. And I don't believe I was homeless. I don't believe that everyone who's homeless is insane or crazy. I mean, they've got some issues, but hell, we all got issues.
Indeed.
The biggest problem they have is, they got a drug addiction. That's the biggest problem with the homeless right now. And they need help. They don't need to be ignored. They don't need to be left behind. Because I'm telling you right now, everyone has someone they care about, someone they love that's either on drugs right now or homeless right now. Everyone. And they love them. Okay? So I don't think we should just throw them away and throw them in a psych ward and say, well, they're crazy, that's why they're homeless, and then we take care of them for the next 6 years because, they entered we figured they were crazy, so we locked them up. They're not crazy. Most of them are very intelligent. I mean, they're feeding a $2,000 a day drug habit. Could you imagine trying to make $2,000 a day?
Right.
They're not stupid. They're not crazy. They're actually very intelligent individuals out there, and they just need some help. So, yeah, there's not a lot of Republicans that feel the way I feel, and there's not a lot of Democrats that feel the way I feel. They want to just give them everything and appease them, and you know, hope the problem goes away. It's not going to go away. We got to deal with it. We can't just lock them up and throw away the key. That's not humane, and that's not right. We can't just throw money at them, because you can't. That doesn't build their self-esteem, and that doesn't fix anything.
Mm-hmm.
We need an answer. I got an answer, and I wanted to do something with it. So that's kind of really important to me, because I see these homeless. I knew every time I drive by one, I can remember me being out there.
Yeah.
And nobody caring me. I'm a man that cares, and I want to do something to help them. I want to get them off the streets, and I know the path they need to take, and I want to provide that path for them. So,
have you already been doing some of what it is that you want to do at this
oh yeah,
congressional level?
I just got done doing high rises down here at U of A. Both my companies were contracted to do the high rises. I hired 63 people. Probably 50 of them were homeless. I bought them clothes, work clothes. I bought them all their tools. I started them all off $14 an hour. Bought them all lunches many times just because they didn't have any money. Got them through the first week, and they got a paycheck, and they were amazing. I wound up finding them jobs with other companies. I taught them a trade. We banged out over 1,000 apartments in 4 weeks, and they just needed someone to care and someone to give them a hand. Yeah, and I really was. They were really great, hard workers, and yeah, you know, they didn't all make it. I think but before the job was done, I had to let probably 6 or 7 go, just because they chose to use drugs, and I couldn't have it on the job. So, but the rest made it. They're working in other companies now, and they're doing great. And it was because when the job was done, I didn't have to work to keep 63 people working. So
Right.
But they did something good that I called some of the contractors that I knew and asked them if they needed help, and we sent them over to work with them. So, and as far as I know, they're all still working.
So let me make sure that I have this right. You got this project. You hired 63 people. And of the 63 people, about 50 were homeless?
Yep.
You went out. You personally went out and found these 50 homeless people to give a job?
Actually, I ran an ad. I ran an ad in Craigslist.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care if you've never had a job. If you're willing to work, I'll give you a shot. I will buy you your own tools. I will buy you everything you need. All I need is you to come ready and willing to work. I'm doing interviews here, and I gave them the address of the office, and every day I sat here when people came in, and everybody who walked through the door, I gave a job to. Every one of them. Wasn't much of an interview. I said, there's the application, there's the form. I said, I'm just going to give you a chance. You're either going to make it or you're gone. That's it. And gave them their tools, bought them some whites, and I was really blown away because it was my wife's idea. I didn't think it was going to work, but it did. Every one of them worked their butts off. Every one of them did an amazing job. They were great. When someone tells me that the homeless aren't worth a chance, I'm not buying it because I've seen different.
And you're living proof of the difference.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I've changed. Now if I can change, anybody can change. You know.
Now, how long ago was this project?
This project was in June, July. We started. No, it was in July, and we finished the middle of August.
And you said after your project was done, you had other contractors that some of these people went over and worked for.
Yeah.
So, of the 50, do you know how many are still working today? Do you know how many have actually moved from homeless situations to having somewhere that they can lay their head safely of their own?
That I don't know, but I can tell you this. Only 5 of the ones that wound up going somewhere else have filed for unemployment. So that kind of tells me that those are the only 5 that are no longer working. Because, I get a letter because I was one of the people they worked for in the last 6 months.
Right.
They are, and I only got 5 letters for unemployment. So I can only assume that the other ones are still working.
When you were paying these people $14 an hour, what was the minimum wage in Arizona?
It was, I think, 12 something. It was way less. I always pay people over there. It was probably 12 something. I think it's going up to 13 something in January.
Right.
Arizona's wages are higher than a lot. But I put it this way: some of those people make $14 an hour for one day.
Right.
I saw they were good workers. Many of them I bumped up to 16 the next day.
Wow.
I've got people that work. I've got people working for me that make $20 to $25 an hour. Yeah, I don't even make that much. Matter of fact, I haven't gotten a paycheck in 3 weeks. That's all right.
Well, you know what? Go if you get this Congress seat, then you can look forward to more of those non-paid weeks. Because really and truly, the job of being in Congress, the job of serving the people, is just that, service to the people. So you really shouldn't be looking for personal gain in the mix of it.
No, if I were looking for personal gain, I'd stay right here at my company or the only reason I'm not making anything right now is because I'm not focused at the company right now. My son's learning and he's running the company and I'm running around getting ready, running for Congress. So
Right.
it's one of the things I had to give up. I mean, I before that, I mean, when I was working and making money, I made real good money.
Right.
But
Right.
now I'm not really working at the company, so I just don't feel I should be getting a paycheck. So, I believe you get what you earn, and my son's doing all the work, so he's getting the paycheck.
Okay. All right. So, as you move forward, have you been doing the campaign trail thing where you do the rallies and you speak with groups of people. Have you been doing that
Well,
already?
I haven't done any rallies, but I do speak with groups of people.
Okay.
I'm just a little guy. I'm not Trump or Gary Lake. As a matter of fact, I had someone ask me to run with it, to go over and run with Gary Lake, and I said no. I just I'm I plan to win District 7, and District 7 isn't a big Trump. They don't support Trump, and they don't support Kerry Lake. So I'm not going to tie myself to anybody. I'm my own man, and I'm going to run as my own man.
Right.
So
When you go out and you speak to these groups, do you leave with a sense of them being on your side, them being receptive to what it is that you're presenting, them being supportive of what it is that you stand for?
oh yeah. As a matter of fact, before I leave, they asked me for nomination petitions, which are the forms you have to get signed. Like I need 1,600 of them signed
Right.
to get into Congress, to be on the ballot. And every time I leave those, they ask me for nomination petitions. And what they do is they take those out into their areas and they get signatures from their areas. And then they call me up, tell me they got them, and where am I going to be my next one, because they want to go meet me. So they'll bring them to one of my other speeches where I'm at.
Right.
So, and I get the nomination certificate. So,
Nice. So
but yeah, it's
you're
pretty
building.
much the golden deal. I'm 5'9", 10. I'm 5 with the FEC. Now it's just about getting donations and signatures and talking to people and getting out in the community, and it's kind of fun. I mean, I'm enjoying meeting people. I'm a people person, so.
Right. That was going to be my other question. You know, how has it been looking funding wise? Because that's the other side of this.
It sucks. I donated $200 from the company and I think I got 120 from other people, and I think I got like 20 or 40 bucks cash from one of the things where people gave us some money. I haven't really expected much because it's almost Christmas. So, I mean, people are taking care of their other stuff.
Right.
I'm kind of expecting, I'm hoping it picks up with the funding after Christmas so that I can have, I got to get my name out around the community to the people that are going to vote. It's one thing to go in and meet all the LDs, but my big thing is this is a very blue district, so I need to be able to get Democrats to realize I'm running, and I'm actually running to help the community. I'm not running to, it's in the words of the right-wing extremists. I'm not that at all. And I need them to know that, because all the Republicans are going to vote for me because I'm the only arm to take it. There's not enough Republicans here in Arizona to win. They're just not.
Right.
Well, maybe there are in Arizona, but there's not enough in the district I'm running. I'm the entire border of Mexico is where I'm running. And I am Hispanic, so yeah, that's a plus. But it's mostly Democrats and very left-leaning individuals in Pima County. Not that but when I talk to them, there's a lot of them that are going to vote for me just because I was born and raised here and they all know me. So there's a lot of people that know me that are Democrats are going to vote for me. But I'm probably outnumbered Republicans to Democrats in this district by 2-1. So it's a big hurdle. And if I get the independents to jump in, then I got it beat. So, but in order to do that, I'm going to have to get my name out to the independents. So, but I'm not the kind of man that shies away from a fight. I'm going to get it done.
What if you don't win?
Then I run next time.
What happens to the projects that you do? You know, where you try to help with the homeless. You try to help with
Oh, well, the projects that I'm talking about doing,
yeah.
I'm going to keep right on speaking with the people that can get them going. Because I'm going to, even if I don't win, I'm going to continue to run. I'm going to continue to speak to the community. I'm going to continue to speak with the congressmen and women of the state. I'm going to continue to work on making changes because I will have already made connections with them. I'm not going to sever those connections with them. And why should I? If I'm going to run, if I lose this one, my name's out. I'm going to continue speaking with people and prepare to run for the next one, which would be 26. And that one I would win. But, you know, that's a lot of ifs, should have, could have, would. I'm planning on winning this one right now.
Yeah, you know, I'm just asking what's the plan B? You know,
But that would be the plan. I keep moving forward. Like I said, I'm not a quitter. So
right. Well, it shows. It shows that you're not. I remember when you were acquiring that second business, and you had sent me the pictures, and this is one of the things that for me, I feel like I have this personal investment, you know, because when you got that letter that the conviction was voided, you sent me a copy of that letter.
Yeah.
And as the battle continued over the next until we got to this point. So for the past 3 years, we haven't lost touch. I knew what it was that you were going through when you were going through it. I knew when you said to me, "Hey, Kev, I'm running for Congress." I was like, "What?" And it was kind of mind blowing, and exciting at the same time, and concerning in the mix of it. One thing is for sure, I'm very proud of what you have been doing, and I want to say that publicly. You know, you have, like you said, have not given up. You haven't rolled over and said, "Woe is me! Oh, I am death." If you want to go Shakespearean, you know, you haven't done that. On the contrary,
Not
it
going
is
either.
I am
Not
life.
going either.
Yeah,
You got to fight till my last breath. And if I win the one battle, I'm going to continue to fight the next battle. It's just, that's life. And that's who I am. So,
have you partnered with any organizations to help with the drug issue, the homelessness issue, the mental health issue?
actually, my wife has been writing to different individuals. Gosh, and I can't think of the name of the one she's been talking to. It's they're self-organized, they're self-funded. They're God, what's the name of them? Help me! You got to know them. They're all across the country. There,
I know the Salvation Army.
Oh, here in South Germany.
That's who I know. I grew up going to church in the Salvation Army in Jamaica. So and I used to work for them. So I know the Salvation Army. But
Well, my wife's talking to the drug program here, and she's trying to get them to step in to help. She wants me to talk with them to give them my ideas. And I should know the company because I wrote a book about a biography, and I haven't gotten it edited yet. But this particular treatment program wants to buy like 1,000 of my first books when I released them.
oh,
And I
nice.
can't remember their names because that's what they do. They deal with drug addiction and they help people homelessness. But they're a pretty good program, but they're more of a spiritual program, and which is good. I mean that's definitely good.
Right.
But I just can't remember the name of them. It's driving me crazy. But in
You
any
see,
case,
I should have told you to make sure that she was available too, 'cause something said to me, make sure that she's available. And I didn't reach out to because she's the one that has all the answers.
yeah, and she went to bed. But she's been talking to, well, she's actually been like my campaign manager. She's the one setting all these things up with where I got to be. She's been running with me. Oh, my wife's amazing. I got lucky with her.
Yeah.
She sets all these meetings up, and she knows how hard this is going to be for her because she'll be here running the company while I'm in Washington in the fight with all the the swamps of Washington. And she's not real happy about that, but she also knows that I've got to fight. I just can't lay down. And she knows that about me. She's been with me for 11 years. She knows who I am, and she knows what I am. She knows I don't stop. And in the end, I'll win. Because that's just who I am. And I'll win because I just won't stop.
Right. Well, one thing is for sure. Go ahead.
You ever get a fist fight with somebody? I mean, you see two guys going at it. The one guy might be tougher than the other guy, but the other guy just won't stop.
Right. Yeah.
He just won't stop.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop till he wins. So even the tough guy, he gives in. He can't take it anymore. He's done with it. And the guy that wasn't as tough, he beat his butt. That's kind of who I am, and that's the one. I'm just not going to give up.
Against all odds.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for it. As you embark on this aspect, this portion of the journey, if there were something that you wanted to say that you've never actually gotten a chance to say to some people, what would that be? Or have you said everything you've wanted to say?
That the judge just ruled when he threw my lawsuit out, which I'm appealing. He ordered me to pay these people $87,950 for attorney fees. These are the people that caused me to go to prison. And my wife was pretty upset about it. It didn't bother me at all because I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you.
That's a big deal. $87,950.
Yeah. The attorneys that were representing me told me, if you appeal it, they could wind up doubling it. I said, make it $1 million. I don't care. I'm not going to stop.
That's no. I'm worried about my supporting you. uh, I'm friends with a crazy guy.
Yeah, and you just you can't let them walk over you. You can't let them do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they put me in prison. They wanted me to give up somebody. It's not who I am. Uh, they punished me for not doing it. I did my time. I fought it out every step of the way. Uh, they can do what they want to do to me. Just know this: we're walking into a fight. I'm not going to stop.
Dan, I want to thank you for taking the time out to bring us up to speed. You know, you've embarked on this journey to clear your name for one, and by extension, to help others who have been in similar situations. And the numbers that have been affected by things like this are high. You know, we're not talking about, just a couple of people around the way or a couple of states away. We're talking about people all over the United States. And the numbers are high. Every day we hear of stories where someone who has been wrongfully convicted has been exonerated. Exonerations are almost a dime a dozen now. The voided convictions, there's still only two.
Yeah.
In US history, there's still only two. And you have the second one.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's a big launching pad to go from to make a difference. And I'm glad you're using it to make a difference, because this is the kind of story that you could make millions on from Hollywood. It really is. You find the right director to buy into the concept, and boom, you have a multi-million-dollar blockbuster hit. But for you, it is, let me make a change starting here in this place that I was born and raised. And I commend that. I tip my hat to you for doing that, for looking out for someone other than you, even though you're in the midst of fighting your own battle. Others matter. And I know there are some people that were wondering, why am I putting up on my social media the campaign post for someone running for Congress over in Arizona? What's the deal here? Why am I getting into the politics? Because I tell people I don't do politics. And I don't. But I support things that people do that make a difference in the community. And I told you on that broadcast back in 2020 that wherever I can, whatever I can do in my little corner, I will do in support of your fight, your journey. And I'm staying true to my word. And so, even if you weren't running for Congress, I'm with you 100%. You have my support. But as you are running for Congress, if you do get this spot, just remember me. Call my name.
I will. You know I will give them.
But I truly appreciate love what it is that you're doing for the community, and helping the homeless, helping the those that have drug addictions, that are battling those. It would be awesome if you could partner up with some of the other organizations like out of Texas, Miles of Freedom, Richard Miles. He was wrongfully convicted, and when he went to clear his name, he had gotten some money out of it, and he started the organization Miles of Freedom. And he has been working with convicted, rightfully or wrongfully, those being released, helping them to reintegrate to general society. Teaching them life skills. He has been developing this whole organization. And what you are doing is, it just seems like it could work with connecting with resources like him. And I'm pretty sure he knows others too, but he's over in Houston, Texas. And it's Miles, Miles. And his name is Richard Miles. If you can connect with him, see what he's doing, pick his brain, whatever. Networking always works.
Yeah, that was.
So just adding 2 cents to all that you have in your basket already, your $40 that you have in the basket. But ladies and gentlemen, this for real though, the campaign does take money, and if you can, go ahead and support the campaign, because it's doing real things, helping real people with real issues. You heard Dan himself tell you the story of those that he hired and have paid well, and they have done well. That's the best part of the story. It's not what you have done, Dan. It's what has happened as a result of what you have done. That is the real part of that story. And so these 50 people, 6 had to be terminated because they went back and did drugs. And 5 have filed for unemployment since. So that's 11 people in the mix. So 39 out of the 50 are still doing something good with their lives. They're still making a difference. They're still trying to help themselves because you have given them a chance. I don't know if you really have absorbed the magnitude of what it is that you have done for 39 people right now. And this is just one project. I know you have done some other things before.
Wait, I know, right? I love, that's the thing I love about my job. It really is. I like going to work and I see guys working, and I know they're making a paycheck. I know on Friday they're going to get a paycheck. On Friday they're going to be able to pay their bills.
Right.
And that in itself is rewarding because I provide work. I provide an environment that changes their life. And that's the neat thing about owning a small business. You're never going to get rich at it, but it sure is rewarding.
Indeed. And your small business has been doing big things. You, as one small guy, figuratively speaking, have been doing great things. And again, I commend you and I encourage you to continue doing what it is that you have been doing, because you are making a difference. And lives have been blessed because of your journey, because of the message that you have. And I tell people all the time, our message is really just some mess that has aged. And you had gotten into some mess, and over time you have worked through it. Your own addictions that you had gotten into and gotten over, your own homelessness that you've been through, taken down to nothing, just to start over. You see it, you know it, you recognize it, and you are now advocating for all that you have done and all that you see in others that they could possibly do also. These are big things. And
Very
I
good
can't
point.
I can't trumpet it enough. I just hope it gets connected. I hope people recognize it. I hope people latch onto it and get involved. Go ahead and give your social media, your website, anything that people can get onto in order to join in support of
All
Daniel
right.
Butierez.
You ready?
Go for it.
I don't know. Would that come up, doesn't it?
Hey,
I don't know. Is that right?
yeah. Daniel Butierez for Congress 2024.com. Yep. I could have done that for you.
Yeah.
But that works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. It's Daniel Butierez for Congress 2024.com. So you can check out the website. A little bit of a short story of what I've been through. The horse, I have a rescue too.
Yeah.
People and animals, they matter to me. And I got pictures of my horses on there. And
Yeah, I saw that.
so,
Funny thing, as you mentioned, the horses, after we had spoken, and this is long after we had spoken,
yeah, you were supposed to come riding.
I'm still supposed to come to Arizona, yes. I've gotten close. I made it to Texas, and I came back. So my next trip that side, I'm gonna make it all the way over to Arizona. But when I was working for the Salvation Army, we had connected with some people that did these workshops with horses. They had a ranch, and it was this about 8-week workshop where they had the kids and they taught them how to take care of horses and how horses, the mannerisms of horses, taught them how to ride. And there was so much that we learned from the horses. And I thought, whoa, this is what deals with all the time. This is why he's such a cool guy, because of the horses.
Oh, they're great. Horses are great.
Yeah.
Nothing like being stressed out. All you got to do is walk out, pet a horse, and it takes the stress right out of you.
It
They're
really
amazing
does.
creatures.
It really does. So yeah, I need to get on that. I don't know. 2024 is a busy year for you, Dan. I don't know. But we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So we're gonna part company. I'm gonna let you go get some rest because I know you start early in the mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that hasn't changed. So thank you,
No.
thank you, thank you. Keep up the good work. Continue making a difference. It's important that you do that. It really is. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Butierez.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bro. Take care.
Bye.
What can I say? The man is for real. And his story is for real. You can check him out, Daniel Butierez. You can Google his name, and it's Butierez with a B. If those of you that missed it, and oh well, those who are watching the broadcast would have seen that is Butierez with a B. Those who are listening on the various platforms, the affiliate stations, then you know that I need to tell you, it's not Gutierrez, it's Butierez. B as in boy, Utierez. Daniel Butierez for Congress, the numeral 4, Congress 2024.com. Get on it, donate to the campaign, but read the stories. You can check my archive. You can go on the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew on YouTube. You can go on my website. Check the archive. Listen to the broadcast that we did back in 2020, where Dan tells a story, what it is that he had gone through, and you'll connect the dots to know what it is that where he is today. Some of the things that he has had to deal with, and you'll get a better picture. You'll have a clearer idea of the kind of support, one, that he needs, and two, that you should give. Because there are others that are doing similar things, but not many that have decided to go the distance that he has decided to go. He has decided to take it all the way to Congress. That's a big deal. And whereas some would see it as a move of personal gain, he really stands to gain more just staying in his corner and running his businesses. He does. Because this political game, it's rough out there. You talk about sharks in the water. These are piranhas in the water. They'll eat you alive. And so he needs a support. I don't do political campaigns. That's not something that I do. That's not a kevinstew.com thing. That's not a Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew thing. It's not a Kevin Stew thing. I support people making differences in communities. That's what I do. That's what I'm about. That's where I stand. So to all my affiliates out there, One Harmony Radio, NIE Radio, the Foundation Radio Network, Mix 102, Earth 96 FM. Did I leave anybody out? Island Worldwide, China Nicole, Gary, much love to you guys. As affiliates, these are the kind of messages that I would love if you continue to spread. Because whereas one person can make a difference with another one person, that's all we need to do. If we reach just one, the job is done, because that one will reach one other. Which means that initially, you as one now became 3. You and the 2 that you reached. And so it grows and it grows and it grows. And this is how we make a difference. Get on board. Let's do something. Not just talk about it, be about it. It would be good if I had actually taken off the mute for this thing. A bit of a little musical therapy for us. Short. But it should be effective.
I see them love.
Music from Nikki Blaze. Track called Lost in Illusion.
Yeah. I see them love.
Oh, yes, I see them.
Lost in illusion.
Lost in illusion.
I see them love.
that built this great nation still trapped on my plantation. I see them love.
Oh yes, I see them.
Lost in illusion.
Lost in illusion.
I see them love.
Oh yes, I see them.
Lost in delusion. And now they reside in a state of confusion. Rwanda, Haiti, down in Darfur, Jamaica, they're crying out for murder, hunger. Why can't we come together and help one another? It only takes but one to start a revolution. Please don't play into the illusion. Oh, I see them lost, yeah, I see them lost, in a state of confusion. Wake up, wake up, wake up, yeah. Oh, I see them lost, I see them lost, I see them running, running, running. Oh, I see them running. Oh, my people lost. Oh, my people lost, yeah. I wanna tell it to you now. Oh, I see them lost. Lost in illusion, yeah. I see them lost. Oh, lost in delusion, yeah. My people, you lost. Oh, I see them lost.
Oh yes, I see them.
Lost in illusion.
Lost in illusion.
I see them lost.
Oh yes, I see them.
Lost in delusion. And now they reside in a state of confusion. I see them lost.
Oh yes, I see them. Lost in illusion.
I see them lost.
Oh yes, I see them. In delusion.
And now they reside in a state of confusion.
One another. And as we fight one another for the power and the glory, the kingdom goes to waste. We the people want to know just where we're going. Right now we hands are
This is music from Ernest Smith.
tied behind the back, while certain people, if and but in,
It's called March for Change.
where do we stand? We have too far to go, not to really know just how we're getting there. And if we're getting anywhere, we have too much to change, not to know the range of possibility and changeability.
Drop that song there again. Play it from top. Sentinel said that.
And as we fight one another for the power and the glory, the kingdom goes to waste. We the people want to know just where we're going. Right now we hands are tied behind the back, while certain people, if and but in, where do we stand? We have too far to go, not to really know just how we getting there. And if we're getting anywhere, we have too much to change, not to know the range of possibility and changeability. Violence and crime is commonplace in these said times. No man walk free. Prophecy come closer to fulfillment in these dread times. Why should this be? And as we fight one another for the power and the glory, Jah kingdom goes to waste, and every drop of blood we taste, I feel we won this grace, yeah. I feel we won this grace. Can't build no foundation on a if and but. Are we building a nation, or are we building a hut? And every time you ask for some old friend, you hear said just last night, he meet a sad, sad end. And if you talk too loud, and if you walk too proud, watch where you lay your head. Far out the dread, well dread. Can't build no dreams on a fuss and fight. Me no care who I do it, just say that no right. And as we fight one another for the power and the glory, Jah kingdom go.
As we fight one another, you know, this is pretty much what has been happening. We have been fighting one another. To what end? Where does it stop? And how do we benefit? If we just turned around and gave a helping hand, I think maybe, just maybe, it could be that much better, that much more different. Yeah, the proof is out there. Dan told the story. Hired 50 homeless people. 6 of them had to be terminated for using drugs. And another 5 filed for unemployment after the project was done. They were on this project for a month, which means just one person gave 50 people an opportunity and 39 made good on it. Those are great results. Not to say that the 11 that fell along the way don't matter. Yeah, they do. But look at the 39 that stuck with it, that managed to turn their lives around just from the efforts of one person. You can do the same. You may not be able to hire 50 people. You may not be able to hire one. You can barely make it yourself. But you can guide somebody in the right direction. You can point them to where they need to go. Just because you got some information. It can be that simple. Go ahead. Take the step. Make a difference. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Those of you who shared the broadcast with some friends, thank you. Those who are listening in on any of the affiliate platforms, truly appreciate love, each and every one of you, and the affiliates. Much love to you. As we part company, remember to look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for just one of them today, because you never know which one of them will do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, right here, kevinstew.com. The night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. And on Saturdays, you can catch me on Reggae Global Radio at 8 p.m. for the Saturday Stew. We get the other side of me. We get to play some music and vibe out. Y'all, take care of yourselves. Good morning, good day, good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. Good night from right here in South Florida. Be good. If you can't be good at it. I'm out of here. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.